Good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream, and I'm going to do the August the 19th Spiritual Principle a Day in a Meditation. I hope you're doing well today. It's good to be with you. The title of the meditation for August 19th, Inclusiveness, means any addict. All addicted persons are welcome and equal in obtaining the relief that they are seeking from their addiction. Every addict can recover in this program on an equal basis. That comes from the basic text, chapter 6, tradition 3. Many of us who have been around NA for a little while have no doubt that the NA program is for any addict. Our literature and our traditions clearly state that any addict with a desire to stop using should be able to find a place in our fellowship. Making that ideal into a reality requires more than telling newcomers to focus on the similarities rather than the differences. It requires us to actively make space in our meetings for any addict, regardless of. I was the only person who looked like me in the rooms where I got clean, a member shared. People told me to focus on the similarities, and all I could think was, that's pretty easy for all of you. Everyone looks like you. Then I heard someone say, one day you'll hear someone who is nothing like you share your story. And it clicked. I needed to hear that it's okay, that we're not all the same. Our stories are similar even when we're not. I don't have to ignore real parts of who I am to belong here. Making space for any addict requires taking an honest look at ourselves and our communities. Society outside of our meetings has all sorts of social strata, differences in language, ethnicity, culture, gender identity, sexual orientation, ability, and financial status can present challenges. And some might prefer it if distinctions like these melted away at the door to our meeting. But they're often all wrapped up in who we are as people. And our distinctions are assets to NA, not problems to be solved. We can tell newcomers that our differences don't matter, but if our meeting are largely made up of people from similar backgrounds, it can look like NA is no more inclusive than the rest of society. When we share openly about our differences and encourage others to do so too, our distinctions enrich the NA fellowship. Being who we are helps newcomers identify and relate and stay. Focusing on the similarities does not mean I need to ignore the differences. I will share honestly about who I am, differences and all, and honor the differences of addicts who are not like me. Tongue-tied again. Well, that was a beautiful meditation. Let's take a moment of silence, followed by the we version of Serenity Prayer, please. Moment of silence. Thank you. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please and thank you. So we're talking about the fact that inclusivity means that any addict should be able to come into the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous, regardless of where they come from, what they look like, what they've been through, and obtain the benefits of this program. Uh, but as we all know, here in the States and abroad, as we all know, that generally speaking, people attend meetings in their neighborhood. They attend meetings where um, maybe where they first learned about Narcotics Anonymous. And generally speaking, when you attend meetings in the area that you come from, people look more like you because that's our culture, right? It's your culture. It's your community. And so when someone from the outside comes into those meetings, do they feel included? A lot of times it's about where they're at. where their mindset is at. That will determine whether or not they sense inclusivity. But a lot of times, and I have to say that it falls on the group to present that as an asset, that there's a variety of individuals in those meetings. There's a variety of experiences, strengths, and hope, right? And that we put all of that on the table, accessible to the newcomer. When you come, you should feel included, and the group should make it their business to make you feel included. I'm not saying that they should cater to your every needs because there's probably not enough time to do that because most meetings only run for a certain period of time. They need to get started, but there should be someone there that is including you and trying to make you comfortable. And if our groups aren't doing that, and we're listening to today's meditation, we can be the individual that offers that service, right? Individually, we can be the individual that changes that dynamic of newcomers coming into the meeting and not feeling included because maybe um, the people don't look like them, the skin color doesn't match, right? They're people of a different race. It happens all the time. I've experienced it so many times that, I don't give it much thought because I know that the experiences, if I'm listening to other people, I generally know that I'm going to hear a similarity in the story. And that's what I'm searching for. You got to search for that, right? When you go into a meeting and you're feeling, that you're different and you're the odd man out, search for the similarities. Challenge yourself to listen to every speaker intently and find and take note of the similarities. And eventually, when you do that, you'll start seeing, oh my goodness. Yeah, the disease of addiction does not discriminate, even though we as people tend to, right? We don't want to, but we tend to. And you'll start to learn that people that don't look like you, don't eat the same types of foods that you do, don't dress like you, right? That they're very similar when it comes to the disease of addiction. And we ride that out. I love how this meditation says that I don't have to ignore the real parts of me to belong. Nobody wants you to stop being you. We want you to come in as you are and grow in your recovery and rediscover who you are. My name is MightyStream. I've enjoyed talking to you today. I hope that you have a beautiful day on purpose.